Okay, so we continue. Where did God put the human that he had made? Yes, Genesis chapter 2, verse 8. Where did God put the human that he has made?
The Garden of Eden.
In the Garden of Eden. So
Eden.
C is correct. Okay. All of the following were rivers flowing from Eden, except so the rivers didn't flow from Eden.
Nile.
Now, okay. We get to know River Nile during the time of the Egyptians. Okay. What was the one tree the human was commanded not to eat? Verse 17. What was the tree of life?
Of life.
Evil.
Read it well of verse
The
17.
tree of the knowledge
Of knowledge of good and evil.
Then life.
So we see that the tree of knowledge and of knowledge of good and evil.
Evil.
Is that also
Yes,
Yeah.
your this one they like? What two responsibilities did the human have in the garden? What was the two responsibilities? In verse 15.
To work and care for the garden.
To work and care for the garden. Okay. What did God say was the consequences of eating from the forbidden tree? Verse 17. What was the consequence?
The day they will die, they will die.
Yes, they will die. Good. Good. The verse C. Okay. Out of what did God make all the animals? Out of what did God make all the animals? Verse 19.
On the ground.
By the word
By the word of
by the word of the master,
By the word of the Lord.
of the Lord. Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's read the verse 17 and see. Someone also said out of the ground. Let's read and see. Verse 17 of chapter 2. What does it say? Mhm.
and out of the ground.
Uh-huh.
The ground. Yes.
The Lord God formed every beast of the field
So
and
the
every
answer,
fowl of the
so the answer is out of the ground. Okay.
Yes,
We
Papa.
have it B. Okay. I'd made us read so that when we have different views, we read to test confirm. What did
Yes,
Adam
Papa.
give to all the living creatures? Verse 20. What did Adam give to all the living creatures?
Papa names.
Names. Okay. What was the first thing God pronounced not good? What was the first thing God pronounced not good in verse 18?
loneliness.
Loneliness. Very good. So the guys who are not married, Charlie, do what and grab. The ladies to do what and accept. You make us suffer small. Yeah, but can bring us and what part of Adam did God use to make the woman? Verse 22.
The rib.
Okay, the rib. Mama, yeah, that's so what I say, yeah, the film, why was she named woman by Adam? Verse 22. Why was she named woman by Adam?
Names.
Was taken out.
Yes.
Taken out of the man.
Because she was taken out of the man. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. All of the following are all of the following are talked about in the creation account as part of the husband-wife bond, except, so let's look at it. Living father and mother, is a part of the husband and wife bond? Being united, is a part of it? Becoming one flesh?
Yes.
Having
Yes.
one mind, is a part of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So which one
No,
is
that
wrong?
The last one is wrong.
The last one is wrong. Yes, having one mind was not mentioned there. So that's why we say that sometimes you may agree to disagree in marriage. It's part of it. Because the Lord said you should leave your father and mother. That one you leave. Being united, you cleave to your wife, becoming one flesh. And that one is done through sex. And then having one mind, that one there. He only said how can two people live together? And that one is a different quotation, not in the creation. By the time of creation, God even know that the man and the woman will agree and disagree. So when you agree to disagree in the house, it's part of creation. What did the man and his wife not feel initially? According to verse 22, what did they not feel initially? Verse 25.
Shame, Papa.
They felt no shame. Good. We enter chapter 3. So flip your Bible, we move to chapter 3. The serpent was said to be dash than the other creators. Verse 1 of chapter 3.
Tricky and deceptive.
Tricky and deceptive. Okay.
Subtle.
But it was subtle and crafty.
Crafty.
Subtle and crafty. Okay. Let's read it just to confirm. That is why the Bible is there. Someone should read chapter 3, verse 1 for us.
And the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. The Lord God had made.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so the next one. The serpent first addressed, is it God, the man, the woman, or the animals? Who did the first? The woman. Okay. We continue. The serpent begins his temptation by A, questioning what God has said, questioning God's intention for Adam and Eve, questioning whether the tree was really evil, asking if she wanted to be wise. Yes. What did she begin?
Questioning what God has said.
Questioning what God has said. So the Bible said that the verse 1, the serpent was the shredders of all the wild animals the Lord had made. One day he asked the woman, that means the serpent was a male or he asked the woman, did God really say you must not eat the fruit? So he questioned what God has said. Okay. What two things did Eve list to the serpent?
Sorry.
That, yes.
Papa, the question about the serpent, who it was.
Please come again. Your question, your line is no. Position yourself some more. You said.
Yes, I'm actually having problems today. Forgive me. The question about who the serpent was.
Who the serpent was?
Yes.
There's a question like that.
Yes, about the being crafty and subtle and.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
The question
is B. The answer is B.
Yes, the answer is B.
Okay. Okay, Papa, thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
So we continue. I think we're somewhere here. Okay, question 4, right? What two things did Eve list to the serpent that were not to be done with the tree in the midst of the garden under the threat of death? Verse 3. Eat and smell it, cook and eat it, bake and eat it, eat and touch it.
Keep and touch it.
Eat and touch it. Okay.
Eat and touch it.
Okay. So we continue. The serpent told Eve that eating the fruit would do what? Verse 5, would do what?
Make her like God.
He said,
Make her like God.
Make her like God.
Yes.
So he said that God knows that your eyes will be open as soon as you eat it, and you will be like God, knowing both good and evil. Okay, so make her like God. What knowledge did the serpent suggest she could gain from eating the forbidden fruit, forbidden tree? What knowledge?
Knowledge of all things.
Good and evil.
Good and evil.
Knowledge of good and evil. I just read it. So C is the correct, good and evil. I just read it. Eve was enticed by the fruit of the forbidden tree in all of the following ways, except, so we are looking at verse 6, good for food, pleasing to the eye, desirable to make one wise, smooth to touch.
D. Smooth touch.
Smooth to touch. Okay. Good. When Adam and Eve's eyes were opened by eating the forbidden fruit, what did they first realize?
They were naked. They were naked.
They realized they were naked, the bee. Okay. How did Adam and Eve first try to make clothes? Verse 7. How did they first try to make clothes?
They killed. They wove flax into a garment.
Killed an animal.
So
They
they
sewed
sewed fig leaves together.
trees together.
Okay, correct. After they had eaten the forbidden fruit and heard God coming, what did Adam and Eve do? Verse 8.
They hid from
They ran from his presence.
They ran
They
from his
hid
presence.
from him.
They hid from him among the trees. So which is which? I'm having two things coming. Okay, so let's read the verse 8. Yes, the verse 8 says what? Yes, verse 8. Let's go.
Then the man and his wife had. Okay, go on.
And they
Then the
heard
man
the
and
voice
his
of the
wife.
Hey, who is reading?
And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden, the cool of the day. And Adam, his wife, hid themselves from the presence of the Lord.
Okay. So they hid from the Lord among the trees. Is that not so?
Yes, Papa.
Yes, so they hid among the trees. They get it. They did not run from his presence. So they hid. When God called Adam, what reason did Adam give for his hiding? Verse 10.
That he was afraid.
He was, because he was what?
Afraid.
Okay. So he was afraid. Verse 10 will give us that. Who does Adam blame for his eating of the forbidden fruit? Is it God, Eve, the serpent, or the tree?
Eve.
He was afraid.
Okay.
The woman
So who is being blamed here? Is it the woman or God? The woman you gave me. Verse 12. Oh, let's look at it. Then Adam replied, "It was the woman you gave me."
You gave me,
So
yes.
who is it blamed? Is it the woman or the one who gave the woman?
He's blaming God.
He's blaming God.
Why did
Through the woman.
Anyway, he was blaming he said the woman you gave me. He didn't say that you gave him to me. He said the woman you gave me. So the woman is the cause. Who does Eve blame for having eaten a forbidden fruit? Is it Adam or the serpent?
The serpent.
Yeah, as for Eve, she was specific. Yeah, she was specific. Okay. All of the following were part of the curse on the serpent, except it will crawl on its belly, it will eat dust, its head will crush by the woman's offspring, his back will be broken by the man's foot. Which one is not part?
His back will be broken.
Okay. So that one wasn't part of it. Okay. So we continue. The curse on the woman was that what was the curse of the woman? She will not be able to have children. She will have to cook food for her husband. She will have to work and care for the garden. She will have
childbearing.
Yes, have pain. Verse 16. Okay. So as a result of the curse, the woman's desire would be what?
To be to her husband.
To be to her husband. Verse 16. Adam's curse extended to what? Verse 17.
The ground.
The
ground.
Good. The ground. Good. So the ground that he came from was cursed. All the following were part of the curses on Adam, except the ground will produce thorns. He would eat by the sweat of his bowl. He will once again be alone. He will return to the dust from which he was taken. Which one was not part of the curse, according to verse 17?
You want
would once again be alone.
be
Yes,
alone.
once again. So the loneliness is out. So the women, when the men are not even good, understand, because the loneliness is not part of the punishment. Accept us like that. Why did Adam name his wife Eve? Why did Adam name his wife Eve, according to verse 20?
Because he was
the mother of all living.
The mother.
because he was
Bone of his
Bone.
and flesh.
because
Bone of this bone. Okay. So we have two answers. Let's read verse 20. What does it say?
Was the mother of all living.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm not hearing Papa. I don't know if it's all over.
I can also not hear from you.
It's network problems.
Hello.
Hello, Papa.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Papa.
Yes,
Yeah,
Papa, we can
It's,
hear you
now I'm
now.
on. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Yes,
So
yes,
the verse
yes,
20, someone should read for me.
The verse 20 says, and Adam called his wife named Eve because he was the mother of all living.
So it was not because she was the bone of his bone and flesh of his
Yes.
flesh. It was the mother of all living. Okay, so we have settled that matter. How did Adam and Eve receive clothes from God? How did they receive the clothes from God?
God made garments of skin from animals.
So God made garments of skin from animals for them so that they could cover themselves. After the curse, God acknowledged man has indeed become like God. In what way? In what way did God acknowledge that man has indeed become like God?
Knowing
Yes.
good and evil.
Knowing good and evil.
And evil.
Okay. As a result of Adam and Eve's sin, what did God stop them from doing?
Eating from the tree of life.
Eating from the tree of life. So it's not eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, because that was what they ate. I don't know whether you get it. Yes,
Yes,
they were prevented from eating from this one too. Okay.
The fruit of the tree of life.
Okay. What did God use to stop Adam and Eve from returning to the garden after they were driven out? Verse 24.
The cherubim with a flaming sword.
Cherubim with what? A flaming
sword.
sword. Okay. Okay, good. Chapter 4, we go. Who was, so flip your Bible. Who was the first recorded son of Adam and Eve? Who was the first recorded son of Adam and Eve? Yes.
It was Cain.
Cain, correct.
Yeah.
Cain. What trait did Cain have? What was Cain's trait?
Lord.
The soil.
He said,
He worked
The soil.
yeah, he worked the
soil.
soil. Yes, okay,
yeah.
he was a farmer. What did Abel bring as a sacrifice according to the verse 4?
Firstborn of his
Firstborn of his flock.
Firstborn of his flock. Very good. What initial response did Cain have to the loss, not looking with favor on his offspring? Yes,
angry.
he said
He was angry.
he was angry. Okay. God warned Cain that what would be crunching at his door if he did what was wrong.
Sin.
Sin.
Yes.
Okay. What did Cain? Where did Cain kill Abel? Where?
In the field.
In the field.
In the field. Okay. What was Cain's famous response to God's asking him where Abel was?
My brother's keeper.
My brother's keeper. What was the curse placed on Cain for killing his brother?
His brothers.
His blood
would
stain his hand forever.
Forever.
Which one is a forever? Didn't hear it. I did forever.
His brother's blood.
He was driven from the ground. He was asked to leave. Let's read the verse 11. Someone should just open it. Chapter 4, verse 11.
4 verse 11. Now art thou cursed from the earth, which has spoken from thy brother's blood from thy hand.
So, do we agree with the answer?
Yes, we agree.
Okay. So let's note it. This is a story we know, but sometimes the details can escape us a little. Part of Cain's curse was that he would be, yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Restless fugitive on the earth.
Restless fugitive on earth.
Okay, restless fugitive on earth. Okay. How did God mercifully protect Cain from being killed by others?
He put a mark on Cain.
So people would not kill him.
Okay, so God put a mark on Cain so people won't kill him. Okay. Cain went to the land of Nod, which side can we locate Nod? Was it west of Eden, east of Eden, north of Eden, south of Eden? No.
East.
Okay. So you see everything counting in the reading. After leaving the presence of the Lord, what was one of the first recorded things Cain built? After leaving the presence of the Lord, what was one of the first recorded things Cain built? Verse 17.
A city.
A city.
A city.
Okay, correct. So someone should read the verse 17 for us.
And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch. And he built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch.
Okay. So let's go. Lamech was the first one recorded to have what? What did Lamech, what was he recorded to be the first person to be? According to verse 90.
One woman.
You said?
Married more than
one woman.
Yes.
Married more than one woman.
Married more than one woman. So Lamech started polygamy. Who was the first one listed as playing the harp and the flute? According to verse 21.
Juba.
Juba. I'm hearing like
Juba.
I'm hearing like Tuba. Yam
Tuba.
Juba.
Juba. Is it Tuba King or Juba?
Juba.
Juba.
It is B. Sorry, A. Juba. Jubal.
Okay. So we continue. Continue. Who forged tools out of bronze and iron? According to verse 22. Who forged tools out of bronze and iron?
Tuba King.
Tuba King.
Juba King.
But you know, we are sugar cane or how they haven't told. If Cain is averaged 7 times, is avenged 7 times, then that is avenged 77 times. According to verse 24, who is to avenge 77 times? It's a Bible passage. So you have to. Okay. And sometimes that's how the questions come. This is a Bible verse they have quoted. So then they will leave a dash. You fill in the name or the blank spaces there. Okay, so that's why we have some for you. So if you don't know this verse, chapter 4, verse 24, and you get it in the exam, you see you'll be seated there just wondering what they are even talking about because you don't know what they are saying. So that's it. Who was born in place of Abel?
Seth.
Okay, Seth was born in place of Abel, according to verse 25. Okay, so who was the first one recorded to be the father of those who live in tents and raise livestock? Verse 20. Who is the father of the recorded to be? He said?
Tuba King.
Tuba King.
Jabal.
So Jabal, let's read the verse 20. What does it say? We have read the verse 20 before, so I thought we would just get it. We have read the same verse 20. So let's read the verse 20.
Jabal. He was the father of Seth, well intense, and of such as have settled.
Okay. So then the answer is Jabal. So let's note it. Okay. So let's move on with the next one. Okay. We are moved to chapter 5 of Genesis. I think we are going well, right?
Yes.
Okay, so chapter 5 of Genesis. Humankind was made in dash.
Likeness of God.
In the
likeness of God.
Okay.
Likeness of God.
We have full of kafam. I am on to your kafam. And therefore. Okay. We move on. Which of Adam's children was in his likeness? Adam's children, one of them was in his likeness. That was Adam. Why not ness and the Bible and the same verse 3. Is it all his children?
Set.
Set. Okay, so Set. Let's read it and see. Is that when Adam lived 130 years, he fathered a son in his own likeness, after his image, and named him Seth. So that means that all the other two that came, they were not like him, but this one was in his own likeness and after his own image. Brofu any the akaye bakan bako oseno. Brofu de wakani bebre in his likeness, in his image. Yeah, the wakasa. Juan is Adam, Seth. Yo, which of the following was not part of the common pattern in the genealogy according to Genesis chapter 5? The person lived X years before he had children. The person X lived Y years and died. X was the father of all those that Y maybe played the harp. The person became the father of dash children. Which one is not part of the pattern? Look at the genealogy. Look at it closely.
For the D.
The D. The D. Is that what
C?
Someone says it's going for C. So why the D?
It's B.
It's B. Okay. So let's take why D and why C and why B. The D first. Why D? And now where you
Why?
Okay, so the C have it. X was the father of all those that Y played the harp. When you look at the genealogy, it was mostly about, let's look at some of it. The days of Adam after his father's side were 800, I'm reading verse 4, were 800 years, and he had other sons and daughters. That's all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. When Seth had lived, so it follows like that. What was unique about Enoch? What was unique about Enoch? Verse 21. What was unique about Enoch?
He walked with God.
He walked with God.
He did what?
He walked with God.
He walked with God.
Okay, he walked with the Lord. He walked with God. How does Genesis say Enoch completed his life?
God took him.
God took him.
God took him. So God took him. Okay. Me too, Mike and the Me too, Mike and the Okoni Adjuan Koboso. Movie and okay.
I'm a survivor, man.
Hey,
sorry.
Me too, Mike and the
Papa, sorry.
Okay. Who were the first and last fathers in the genealogy? Who were the first and the last fathers in the genealogy according to Genesis chapter 5?
Adam and
first.
Adam and Adam and
Wow.
So you look at the first name in chapter 5 verse 1, and that is who? Adam. Then you look at the verse 32, that is the last chapter, the last verse in the chapter 5. What name do we have there? Noah. Don't we have Noah there?
Yeah, we have Noah there.
So you look at the first, you see, according to chapter 5. So chapter 5, the first name there in the genealogy is who? Adam. And when you look at the last verse in chapter 5, which is verse 32, it is who? Noah. So the answer is who? Adam and
Noah.
I don't know whether you get it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Who lived the longest in the genealogy according to chapter 5 of Genesis?
Methuselah.
Okay, so they for be. How many years did he live?
969.
What they also for men can share also for yeah, trust.
959.
Man, what they share kebi yanko. Reverend said kisi. Or try in Greek. Or shall be now you also what they share kebi di mi yanko.
969.
Okay. Which child in the genealogy of Genesis chapter 5 was named in the hope that he would be a relief from the painful toil of working the ground? Verse 29. Which child was named with the hope that they will be relieved from the curse?
Noah.
Noah. Now, if you look at the New Testament that we did for Genesis, you get this thing there because we talked about how they were looking forward to it. Which of the following were not one of the three sons of Noah? Yes, were they full of four?
Jared.
Jared.
Okay, Jared. Okay.
Jared.
Verse chapter 6.
Jared.
Chapter 6, we go. So flip to chapter 6. What circumstances was present when the trouble in Noah's day started?
Human began to increase in fish.
Remember on the earth.
He said, What are the circumstances? Yes.
Human
began to increase in number.
Yes.
Okay. So there was an increase in the human race.
Human began to increase in number.
Began to multiply.
Who married the beautiful women that was viewed by God as problematic?
Sons.
Sons of God. So you see, that I was telling you people, these women, they are powerful. If the sons of God can descend down and come and marry them. Just prior to the flood, God announced that the days of humans would be limited to about
70.
How many years were they going to be limited?
70 years.
70.
Are you sure?
120.
120 years.
120.
Yes, read the verse 3 for us.
Verse
3 of chapter 6.
120.
Correct.
And the Lord said, My spirit shall not be always strife with man. For
then the Lord said,
Yet his days
my spirit shall not abide with man forever. For his flesh.
For his days shall be 120 years.
Okay. So the marriages of Noah's days produced children that were known as the verse 4.
Then the Lord said, my spirit shall not abide in man forever, for his flesh, but his days
will be 120 years. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. The marriages of Noah's day produced children that were known as verse 4. The children were known as
Anaka of two rivers.